A beautiful glow shone from the skylight over the grand cathedral. The place was somehow different from the way it had been during the witch's trial. The decorations had changed. The several pleasantly sparkling white ribbons were paper thin, but they hung beautifully in the air. Flowers were arranged all over in a way that would make any place look cheerful. What the hell? What the fuck is going on over here? It's like how a single drop of impure water could spoil an entire cask of wine. Oh, I see. I just came back and you guys are having another party. Without even telling me about it. Typical. Just the presence of the flowers, the ribbons, and the red carpet that ran down the center of the room made it hard to believe that this was the same place where Chiru had been falsely accused of crime. It had truly become a wedding chapel. A wedding? Ah, Christ. Now it has been such a long time since I thought about that. Like ever since episode 2 when we thought about the chapel itself. Wait a minute, don't tell me that Kinzo and Beatrice are having a wedding here. Oh, hello there. These words, spoken by two demons who seem to be in charge of this gathering, were part of a ceremony for making an oath of love before the eyes of God. Of course, in this wedding celebrated by demons, there was no priest in sight. Instead, there stood the witch who controls miracles.
Erika.
Wait, hold on. Let me drink my juice first, right over here. Erika is getting married? I'm still trying to process this. Like, Erika? Marrying someone? The groom must be an unlucky bastard in that case. You bet, knobhead. Oh, you bet. Just don't get your hopes up. The bride standing on the carpeted path was Fururo Erika. The groom's face couldn't be seen. The bride's outfit was, without a doubt, a pure white wedding dress. The bride's veil represented both the white of God's blessings and the white of the demon's cruelty. I honestly never would have thought that white would also be represented as demon's cruelty as well. A great many gold nobles, witches, and demons were gathered for this wedding. If only their heads hadn't been those of goats, it would probably have seemed to be a very refined crowd worthy of this great cathedral. Man, having a wedding as a new part of your plan to spice up the games and such? Man, What's gonna be next?
素敵じゃない。お似合いよ、エリカ。そしてあなたにもおめでとう、新郎。
At that point, then Castell stared straight into the groom's eyes. The groom didn't answer. His eyes were gray. His lips would mutter something from time to time, but no one could tell if the words meant anything.
ねえ、聞いてる？あんたたち。
She spoke to the groom in a plural. Of course, there was only one groom. And of course, the gray-eyed groom didn't answer.
聞こえてはいても答えられませんか？安心してバトラさん。
Okay, so it's Balor. Dodged a bullet there. Wait, Balor?
あなたのすべてを私がにじり尽くしてあげますから。
The Witch of Miracles sneered with an evil smile that would make even demons want to avert their gaze. Even that sneer provoked no response from Balor's dim eyes.
人は愛のために生きるのです。すなわち、今日あなた方は生まれてきた意味を、目的を成し遂げた。
生きる力、愛の力のなんと偉大なことか。今日という日の輝きがどうかお二人を永遠に祝福しますように。うるさいわ、悪魔ども。次の次第は何よ。
お二人に永遠の愛の制約を求めます。
その次は指輪の交換を。
On Balor's hands was a ring bearing the seal of the one-winged eagle, proof that he was the territory lord of this world. And on Erika's finger was a diamond ring that could not be shattered by any miracle. Diamonds signify an eternal bond. However, in Greek, the word for diamond simply means unbreakable. Erika wasn't vowing to love Balor forever. She just wanted to take Balor as her property for all eternity. This wedding was being performed for the sole purpose of humiliating Balor.
ご安心を。あなたを永遠に愛したりなんかしません。だからこの挙式はあなたを征服する儀式です。あなたの心は永遠に脱出不可能の密室に閉じ込められ、この私、探偵にして真実の魔女フルドエリカに支配される。あんたの持つ領主の座もその証の指輪も私のものとなる。
ねえ、ない。
何です？
出られない。
出られないですよね、その密室。あんたが自分で作った密室なんですから。 あんたは永遠にその密室で苦しむんです。私は妻としてあなたのそばに永遠にいて、その苦悶の表情を独り占めします。
Well, I guess so. I do have to wonder what plans you two have for your honeymoon. I heard that it is quite exquisite in the Maldives at this time of the year.
あなたを永遠に私が怪我し尽くしてあげます。後ろ宮バトラー。
Might as well just serve myself with some food right over here. Ooh, nice pastries. All that could be heard was the sound of the wind, a sound of misfortune, strong enough to bring sadness and unease to those who heard it. Slowly, I came back to my senses. I finally regained consciousness on top of a bed with a firm mattress. Where was this again? I couldn't remember where this was, but I could vaguely recall, and it was very bad for me to be here. The room was dimly lit. There was a light on. That just made the darkness and eeriness of the room more apparent. There were no curtains over the window, but it was too dark outside to see anything beyond it. If I squinted into that pitch blackness, it felt as though I would see the witch of the forest peeking back at me through the darkness. I averted my gaze from the window in fear. I couldn't see or hear it, but I got the feeling that if I left this room, it would be bright and warm, and someone would be there for me. I have to get to where everyone else is right now. A bad memory from when I was very young began to well up. I was having trouble staying awake during a family gathering, and the next thing I knew, I was lying on a bed in a room I'd never seen before. I have the horrible, painful memory of waking up there feeling incredibly lonely and crying my eyes out. In this room, I'm not supposed to be here. I just want out. Once I started to think that way, I didn't want to stay in this room as a second longer than I had to. This room scares me. It's creepy. Where is everyone? I want to get out of here right now. I opened the door, trying to leave the room. A pleasant glow snuck in through the crack of the door. As I thought, the corridor was filled with a comforting light. I couldn't actually hear them, but I could sense that far away people were enjoying themselves. Everyone else must be gathered in a room across from this one. I'm shut up in this lonely, creepy room, all alone. I should go, quickly. As soon as I thought this, a merciless metallic sound rang out, and the door refused to open any further. The chain had been set. I've always hated chain locks. You can open a normal lock just by twisting, but chain locks are built in a kind of annoying way where it's difficult to undo them easily. So I've hated them since I was very young. See? Even this chain is causing me trouble. I just cannot get it undone. Why is this happening? I just want to leave this creepy room right away. Just on the other side of this vent door, everything is bathed in a warm light. I cannot undo it. I just cannot undo this chain. The more desperate I grew, the more the unsettling darkness of this room seemed to close in on me from behind, and the more frightened I became. Okay, you know what? This is weird and creepy. Like, could this actually be Beller? Like, what, is he trapped in here? In which case, the thing that comes to mind is that this is the locked room that Erika was talking about. Erika might have had Beller locked in here, and he cannot get out. I mean, it could have been worse. Imagine if this room was used on the wedding night, and Erika forced Beller to do the boingy boingy together on the bed. Oh, the horror! You know what they say. Don't put your dongalong in the crazy. Then I finally noticed. There was something wrong with this chain. Yeah, there is a chain. But this isn't a chain lock. This is just a chain stacked into the door so that it cannot open any further. In other words, it isn't made to be opened. What the hell is going on? Who'd do something like this, damn it? No matter what I did, no matter how much I struggled, I couldn't pull out the stake or undo the chain or break the mechanism. This door was just a demon's mouth, made to trick me into thinking it would open before crushing my hopes a moment later. Even so, if only I could just open this door somehow, I could get out into that If only I could just open this door somehow, I could get out into that pleasant corridor. This desire forced me to keep my hand glued to the doorknob. But it was useless. Both the chain and the stake were firm, and though they clattered about, there was no chance of them letting the door open any further. Even though I could see the pleasant hallway through the crack, I had no chance of opening the door any further. Maybe someone will come if I yell. Maybe the door can be opened easily from the outside. When I thought this, I tried to call out to someone, but It is as though the wind had been knocked out of me. I could mouth the words, "Someone come here," but no voice left my lips. What's going on? Someone come. Why can't I cry out? Help me, help me, help me. Not even being able to say help me out loud scared me more than anything. Yeah, that is definitely something. You can have those kinds of nightmares where he cannot even voice what he wants to say. Not even screams can help you. Ugh. And if I turn around, the witch gazing into the room from the darkness outside might now be inside the room, standing right behind me. Frightened. I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. Someone help me. Someone help me. Yeah, I know how creepy it must be. Imagine if Erika was behind you. Ready for round 2! I cannot get out. I cannot get out. Let me out of this room. Let me. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Help me. Help me. Help me.
Ojo, 先方がいらっしゃったそうですぜ。
え？あ。
Wait a minute. Amakusa ran his finger down my cheek. Jusa! Oh shit! Are we back to Angie and Jusa? Oh man, yeah, it's been such a long time. I woke in an instant from the doze I had just been in. I'm glad at Amakusa for waking me up in such a creepy way. He just played dumb. Okay, so I mean, it could be that wasn't Beller, but maybe it was Angie in this case. I mean, we had that whole ordeal about like Erika saying that she locked Beller inside the room for her to control him for an eternity. But I wonder if this was Angie, simply because Angie just woke up as if she just woke up from a dream. I mean, that person that was locked inside the room being Beller, when I think about it, it feels kind of weird because the narration was talking about the witch of the forest that will be outside the windows. And I'm not sure if Beller would call, well, by witch of the forest, we would assume that we're talking about Beatrice. I don't know if Beller would call Beatrice by that title, Witch of the Forest. I don't know, it felt kind of weird. Like, assuming that person was Beller, it feels kind of too easy for me to say that. I guess we shall see. Where is this? Feels like a parlor in the house of some well-off person. But I have no memory of this place at all. Wait, hold on a second. I mean, should I go with, like, first glance timeline over here? In the sense that maybe this is after the incident of the 4th episode? Maybe. Or nah, that probably wouldn't matter that much, to be quite honest. I guess we shall see if they're gonna say that this is after episode 4 or this is a completely different thing going on over here, unrelated to episode 4. Well, I mean, how unrelated can you get? Angie meeting Juza. No, imply that. Okay, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Let's see what is going on over here. Where is this? And why am I?
お嬢、寝ぼけてるんですかい？
ええ、ごめん。
And nonetheless, it felt like such a long time ago since I seen you guys. It is quite great to see you guys once again.
ここ、どこ？
は
Apparently, he hadn't expected me to forget something like that just because I wasn't fully awake yet. Oddly enough, I agreed. Why am I in this parlor that I don't recognize? The sound of the footsteps of the person, or people, that Amakusa had mentioned. I come right up to the opposite side of the door. I could hear the sound of a conversation. They are probably women. Judging by the coffee and snacks laid in front of me, I was the guest here. In that case, I better remember why I came here. Or at least, who it was I came to visit. Who am I? Ushinomiya Angie. Who is the man standing behind me? Amakusa Juza. The man who used to be my guard long ago. He's not the bodyguard of Okonagi assigned to me. Okay, well, I guess with that it still stands that it's similar in a way to the past events. And maybe for now we can assume that whoever we are visiting right over here would be another investigation lead for Angie to figure out what happened on Okenjima and such. Maybe. In that case, after Onteva died, I must have thrown off my pursuers and gone on a journey to find out what happened on that day 12 years ago. Okay, is that what happened? Did I have a memory of this? Oh? After a knock, the door opened, and the person I must have come here to meet entered along with a maid. Oh, wonderful. Even after seeing her face, I cannot remember who she is.
お待たせいたしました。八条東也先生でございます。
Hachijo Toya. Yeah, that's a relief. The maid introduced her to me first. And I finally remember who she was. She? I was sure it was a he. Hmm?
失礼ながら、先生で？
ええ、私が八条東也です。
Okay, well, nice to meet you. Hachijo Toya.
週刊誌に先生のサイン会の件が載ってましたぜ。サングラスにマスクでがっちりガードした謎の男性作家って触れ込みだったはず。まさか女の先生だったとは。こりゃどういうわけで？
あれは編集部の方に手配していただいた身代わりです。あのサイン会の時、後ろに待機していた海添が私でした。
こりゃ驚いた。先生の作品は読んだことないが、多分あんた本人の方がよっぽどミステリーですぜ。
So, you are a writer?
読者など本を読んでいるふりをしているだけ。作者名とブランドだけで本を読み、読んだつもりでいる。彼らには私の本に何が書いてあっても何も読んでなんかいない。ただ今、流行りの作品は欠かさず読んでいるとインテリぶるために読んだふりをしているだけ。その程度の者どもに
どうして我が身を晒せようか。ああ、汚らわしきかな、汚らわしきかな。
なるほど。
I guess so. I guess we're gonna be having like another commentary on the relationship between the author and the reader over here. Through this person? I don't know.
確かにあなたが八条先生のようですね。
And this person really is eccentric. There's no doubt about it. This is Hachijo Toya herself. Hachijo Toya is a mystery novelist who has become the center of discussion lately. Although her actual books are also apparently highly praised, it's her mysterious debut that's attracted so much attention towards her lately. Okay, well, I just came here. But I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that you, Toya, also wrote about the mystery of the Rokenjima Island, didn't you? And maybe we came here to hear your thoughts about that. Or maybe she has a deeper connection to the Shirumiya family. I guess we shall see. Last year, she somehow managed to win several different awards for exceptional mystery novels offered by multiple large publishing companies, submitting each of her works under a different pen name. And after that, several highly regarded and anonymous works were discovered, one after another, to have been stories she had written in the past under false names. And her popularity soared as she herself became more mysterious than her books. Ooh. Despite all this, the author herself never appeared in public. Everything about her was wrapped in a veil of secrecy. She has become the mystery that she's writing in her books. However, just a few days ago, this author had finally made a public appearance for a book signing, showing up with a mask that covered his face and drawing even more public attention. And yet, apparently even that had been fake. Given this person's radically unconventional track record, it was hardly a surprise to hear her casually insult her fans like this. Yeah...
後宮エンジェさんのことも
Oh.
ワイドショーでもずいぶんいろいろやってましたから、私
どうせろくな話じゃないわ。
ええ、ろくでもない話ばかりですよ。気分一つで人を雇ったりクビにしたり、何でもお金で解決しようとする無法者の乱暴者だとか。
違いねえ。
でも私はあなたのような頭のいい人は嫌いではない。
Yeah, I mean, so far as I've seen, I didn't witness Angie throwing Amakusa Juza over here out the window or anything like that and replace him. Although he could have been beaten by Angie like multiple times while I was not paying attention, so
だから会ってくれたんですか？
ええ、伊藤育九郎0576が私八条東也の別のペンネームだと見破ったのはあなただけ。
Itoi Kukuro 0576. Another pen name used by Hachio Toya. Like an online name? Really? You went with that kind of pen name?
実に見事なるかな。
I wonder what that means. Let me... I don't really have like any paper around here. Let me write this. I mean, I could have written this like after, but I'm just gonna write this right here, right now. Why might as well. Itoi Kukuro 0576.
伊藤育九郎0576。おかしなハンドルネームだったわ。
Yeah.
でも数字に直すと110億1996万576と読める。
110 1996. Yeah, I guess so. That's 10 years. After the incident. I wonder why that... I would assume that that is a date. It looks like a date to me. I wonder what that means. 11/0/19 960,576. Its massive number is equal to 18 to the power of 8. 18 to the 8th power. In Japanese, Toya no Hachijo. Wow. Okay, that's actually something. Now granted, I myself am not one with numbers. I mean, I did that with the epitaph a while ago, but nonetheless, it is quite something. It would take me quite a while to figure something out from that. That's how you reached Hachiyo Toya.
よく実に見事。そんなあなただから私も直接会ってみたかったのです。ようこそ人の子よ、我が邸宅へ。
Her manner of speaking was extremely condescending, but perhaps because of her elegant manner, it didn't feel particularly irritating. This person had a sort of majestic grandeur about her, which made that style of speech seem almost natural. Yeah, you know what? I feel like something is going on with her. There's more just her being an author. I do have to wonder. I mean, she is a mystery writer, so I feel like something good is about to happen with this person. I feel like she is important. I mean, there's also this music. At least that's how it felt to me. Because music surely makes a character seem more important. There's also this music earlier. In fact, it felt almost as though this was the manifestation of some noble being, who would have no need to show herself before mere humans under normal circumstances. Well, there you have it. You're making it sound like as if she is also a witch. Since I'm not particularly a fan of hers, I guess this is proof that her mysterious charisma really is nothing to be laughed at. I mean, no, you know, one can argue that until Hachiyo Toya is actually found out in the way Angie found her, like right over here, using her username like Itoi Kukuro 0576, until someone finds out her actual name and where she lives and all that, she would be invisible in similar fashion to a witch. So it kind of makes you think Angie used her magic to find this person. Which, maybe she's not human, maybe she's a witch. I don't know. I'm thinking of that. I'm interested in Itoi Kukuro 0576, the mysterious web author who only releases her works over the internet. Around the Japanese parts of the internet, Itoi Kukuro is an extremely famous witch hunter. Oh? However, she isn't a big opinion leader like Professor Otsuki. She's one of those message bottle forgers who are always the center of vigorous debate. Message bottle forgers are, as the name suggests, people who forge and post the contents of riddle-filled message bottles, which purport to tell the story of the Orokinjima instance, claiming to have discovered a new message bottle. They post either a very similar counterfeit. Why am I having a hard time saying the word? Or a new theory with their own interpretation of the truth, claiming that it was written by Ushiromiya Maria. They openly call themselves Ushiromiya Maria, write up a new bizarre tale as if they have been there themselves and knew the truth, and send their stories out into the new sea that mankind has discovered, the internet, calling them the third or fourth message bottles. Oh! Okay, I don't think I've actually thought about this before. Maybe all these stories that we're seeing over here, because, okay, I think we talked about, like, I questioned myself, like, a long time ago, like, okay, which of these episodes actually tell the real story? Because, you know, with my mind that I had, like, before, like, in one timeline, you have one thing going on. And you cannot say that like all of these stories that we're seeing from episode 1 through episode 5 can actually be, like, all of them can actually be the true story of what actually happened. So we'll kind of have to interpret them and see the breadcrumbs and see what we can get out of this to discover some truths about our culprit, about what happened and such. I wonder... Okay, this feels new, but I wonder if everything that we see in the far, like episode 3, may have actually been forgeries by like all sorts of random people around the world, like around the world, pretending that what they wrote was actually what happened, but they are just forgeries made by those schmucks who want to pretend that they discovered something new and become rich or something like that. Like, what we see from episodes 1 through 5 is they are like forgeries. They are... I mean, that's one possibility. Like, you know, before we were thinking about Maria or Beatrice actually not forging, but creating all these multiple stories to spread around the world after the incident on Rokkenjima, like spread the bottles like in the sea, so that multiple people can find these and have like a debate on which is which, like which story is actually the true one. Is it episode 1? Is it episode 3, 2, 4? I guess in similar fashion to what Beller did at the end of episode 5, all of these messages in the bottle that tell different stories are done that way to hold the illusion of the witch, because as long as there is more than one story, we cannot tell which is which. It would create doubt over every single one of them if there are multiple of them at the same time. Like, you cannot say for sure that this story is the true one as long as there's a second one. So I'm thinking that's why the message bottles were created, if I'm to think of Beatrice or Maria, but I think that we... I'm kind of forgetting over here, let me remember. Like, the writing in the messages from the bottles are similar to the writing in Maria's diary. Like, not Maria's signature herself, the way she writes, but the signature wrote by Beatrice in that diary. So they were written by Beatrice to hold the illusion of the witch, since there are multiple messages that tell different stories. If this was done by like all sorts of random schmucks around the world to create clout, to become famous, for them discovering new truths about the Rokkenjima Island, well, I'm not gonna say that that would be like a mundane answer. Like, there could be something there that can help me in understanding this more, if this would be another possibility. Like, these forgers. All the first forgers were either simple pranksters, or crooks trying to swindle collectors. However, eventually people came to have solved the riddles of the message bottles' tales, and reached the truth started to appear. And they started work creating third and fourth message bottles from Moshiromiya Maria, as though they had moved over to the riddle teller's side. Okay, yeah, it could also be a mix of those. It's not like we can say that all of the message bottles found are only those forgers. Some of these can be Maria, some of the others can be forgers. Or we can say that all of those were written by Maria. And the forgers, who are not actually forgers, but they take credit for that, nonetheless. Well, which actually, that would still be considered Maria's in that case. So, either way, these people rewrote the tale of the witch with whatever interpretation they wanted. And every once in a while, certain theories would gather an enormous amount of support on the web. Oh. So we're talking about those who may rewrite the original stories of Maria, to actually spread around the world, but theories that were reworked by those schmucks in order to further empower their agendas and such. I mean, that's bad. That's horrible. You're a horrible person. Because of this, some of these creations began to be so widely trusted that they were believed to contain some grain of truth. The more rigid witch hunters openly despised these people, calling them forgers, counterfeiters. Having such a hard time with that word, or just witches. Though they claimed to have reached the truth, they refused to tell it, and created fake message bottles as though testing everyone else. It's no surprise that the serious witch hunters were very annoyed by these forgers. However, there were many people who simply liked to entertain themselves with the occult fantasy of Rokkenshima, and a small number of those accepted these creations as literary works. I'm glad of this expansion to the mysterious tale. And yeah, I guess among those there are also book writers that would take inspiration from those and create their own interpretation of the story. I think they can say the same thing for in real life. I'm sure that there are some examples of that. Like in real life you have like an incident that happened a long time ago who nobody knows exactly what happened, but there are bits and pieces of information here and there, and some authors would write the story of that incident the way they see how it happened. They offer their own interpretation of what happened through that story that they wrote. And I guess that leads to this person right over here that we're meeting right over here. Of all the forgers, Naku Koro was the one most highly regarded.
End of the Golden Witch.
Oh.
読ませてもらいました。人の親族をよくも好き放題に殺せるものです。
Oh. I guess so. That could be quite interesting. Like End of the Golden. Well, actually, no. Yeah. End of the Golden Witch is the title of episode 5. I was thinking that was the title of this episode. In which case, if this was actually episode 6, can we get your book so that we can read it? Like get ourselves some spoilers for what is going to happen so that I can come prepared. But okay. Joking aside. Yeah, End of the Golden Witch is episode 5. You know, you can see that happening. Because there is no room for doubt that episode 5 was drastically different from the previous episodes. And I guess one thing that I can point to is Beatrice herself. She was not the game master anymore. It was Lambda Delta and Ben Castell, in that case, who controlled the story. And you also have this brand new character, Erika, show up out of nowhere and such. Yeah, you know, you could definitely think of this as a story written by a different author than the original one. Hence, we have over here. I guess you could say that Erika was created by this person. Are you telling me that this is her mother?